and welcome to another episode of the Roll-Wise Show, the place where we talk and play games. Talk about and play games. Talk games. Yes, we do. I don't know. I'm already off to a bad start. But regardless, we're going to be going ahead and dipping our toes into the verdant game Wildsea. The nice thing is Jeff is going to be giving this one a crack at, and he's going to be the one playing the Firefly, which is the one that runs the game. So I'm going to turn the show over to him. We are having some video problems, so Jeff is going to be replaced by an icon today. Do not worry. We'll figure it out for next time. So, Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about Wildsea, what attracted you about the game, and what will we be playing?
Sure. The Wildsea is a role-playing game set in a alternate sort of post-apocalyptic timeline, where from the modern time of the game, 300 years before that, something known as the Verdancy rolled across the land. Within days, the world as we knew it was covered with forest. Many of the trees a mile high, like that's the average height from the ground. So the huge roots crushed whatever civilization existed. The people that survived were the people that didn't cling to the cities and the land and the ocean. They started climbing trees, and that's where the pockets of civilization are now. In the game, generally, you play somebody that is sailing on a ship, but instead of on water, you're on essentially a chainsaw ship sailing through the very tops of the trees to get from point to point. The thing that attracted me about the game, there's a lot of familiarity with it. They use a D6 dice pool, similar to a lot of games that we've played before. The setting is kind of cool. It's just a little different, ships sailing through the tops of trees. Everybody likes to play a pirate. I don't know how many pirates there are actually in the game, but it's kind of this cool, vibrant setting that kind of has a life of its own, and the world isn't really all about combat. There can be and probably will be combat. The game isn't about finding things, killing them, and then looting their bodies. Like, I'm sorry, I hate to narrow down every role-playing game to that, but that's a lot of them.
That is a lot of them.
It feels like more games than you would expect are about telling a story about you looting bodies, getting fat loots. Yeah, I agree.
So we will be playing the introductory adventure called One-Armed Scissor from the publisher, and that's what I have to say about that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll provide you guys with some information about One-Armed Scissor, before we start doing it, but we'll use a pre-canned adventure this time. I know Mike is much more willing to stretch his creative muscles and create stuff for us to play it. I am not that guy.
That's all good. I do both. I mean, it's fun. You do you. Playing the game is half the fun. Like that's it, you have your fun there. So the one thing I did want to mention before I move forward is the game is by Felix Isaacs, which the really cool part is if you guys lurk around Reddit and stuff like that, they spend some time responding to questions, concerns, comments in Reddit about the game and stuff like that. And I think that's really cool, the type of feedback that you have, because it's very rare that you seem to have direct access to the creator of many games and kind of get like, well, how is this supposed to actually play? And then they're like, oh, this is how I actually intended for this to work. And and all those kind of things, which I totally think that's totally really cool that the creator has been running around and kind of worked on the rules and stuff like that, and provides that kind of feedback for people, because it is a unique game. It is interesting. So
it is. It sticks out when you see it and you skim through the material. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the Discord server, Wild Words. if you go on Reddit and look in the Wildsea subreddit, you'll find links to the Discord server. There's just a lot of people. It's a small but thriving community of people helping each other out. So if you have questions or want to learn more, I would suggest the subreddit or the Discord.
Very cool.
Nice.
Do you guys want to head into character creation?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to sail the wild sea. Probably
All right.
as a character that Brent is going to hate, but that's okay.
We'll see. It's definitely pretty interesting. Mike has a strong concept already.
Does he? Okay, you guys aren't talking. Okay.
Well,
the main concept. You should just go over the one because that's the one that you really want to do.
I'm just saying it's more fun. I don't know. I like because the game is quirky in a lot of ways. I felt that it was really easy to figure out character concepts just by looking at them. And of course, when you look at like influences for the game and everything like that, I actually watched a little bit of anime just to kind of like get into the mindset of a post-apocalyptic foresty world. And so I was looking at some of the characters from some of those. And that kind of gave me some inspiration too. So
okay, did you guys look over the quick start rules, or just the regular rules?
I looked over the regular rules.
Yeah.
There's a quick start process and then a full on process. So if you guys have already started, I'm willing to sail along with you and answer any questions you might have. Although you might know as much as I do at this point. No, the book's a good read. The organization is a little you got to read a lot of the book. It's hard to
right. Yeah, and it's very much
good stuff.
And it's very much it very much wants you to read everything before you go into the character creation. I noticed because it's last. So
it's essentially last. Yeah, it's about chapter 7 out of like 12. So way back there.
Yeah, and that's fine too. But I think, the way it's set up, if you try to go straight to character creation and you try to do the trial by error, as they suggest, I think you run into a lot of, I don't understand the terminology and how it's used. And that's what a lot of those chapters leading up to that do, is they kind of establish the terminology and the rules, which I think because the game is using a lot of terminology that I don't know if it's present in a lot of other games, at least not a ton of games we played. It's nice to go back, but it did. If you start at chapter 7 and try to just force your way through it, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
You're gonna struggle. You really need to read the book, or I believe there might be a shortened version of the rules that they released for free that I would recommend that somebody at least look at before jumping into character creation. It's not that it's hard; it's just so that you understand the specifics of the game. On the freeform characters, it looks like your first choice is whether you want to play as a young gun or an old dog.
I think we picked through the packages that they have, the quick start packages. We didn't just cool. Freeform make characters. To answer your question, I think at least that's awesome. What I did, right, Mike? We picked a bloodline, origin, and post is what we.
Yep. And then and that's when after you pick those 3, the type is then. You can kind of choose the young gun or the old dog.
Does one of you want to talk about what you picked for those 3 first?
I'll let Mike go.
Hey, do you want me to do it? I'll do it.
He's laser focused.
So I think it just because I was looking at the kind of the content and everything about the setting and everything like that, and one of the bloodlines that really jumped out at me, because there were several. I really like a lot of the bloodlines that are on offer just because they're unique, different, and definitely not in that like whole Tolkien-esque, like you're not an elf or a dwarf or some weird variation of it. You are literally moth people, spiders in a skin suit,
Goomans,
weird stuff that I thought was really neat. But what I really liked is the Ironbound. I really like the idea that, that there are basically spirits in the Wildsea and everything like that, and everything that that sometimes either the spirits of the ships or the spirits of the crew or something like that start to gather the detritus of these old broken down ships, and they create basically a golem or a construct. And so that's going to be the bloodline that I'm going to go with. I really like the idea of less of like a formed construct, like something that was made and given life, and more of just a spirit that just had such willpower that it wasn't able to keep its corporeal body, so it kind of assembled a new body to continue its sailing of the Wildsea. It had purpose, that its purpose kept its spirit going. So now it's just an amalgamation of various parts that come together in kind of a fat, portly looking a golem, I guess is the best way to put it. So
I think that's fair for the Ironbound. Yeah.
Yep. That's going to be my my bloodline is there. And one thing I really liked is that, when you start to formulate your character, you start asking questions of your character, you start interrogating your concept. So like, are you a rescue construct or a organized collection of wreckage? I liked having those to kind of pachinko my way into a more solid version of the concept that I was doing. So Ironbound for me. Brent, what about you?
I am going to play an ardent rootless corsair, which is the descendants of humans in Wildsea. That's humans that are on top of the trees, not the ones who are below trees who become goo people, apparently. Yeah.
Well, the closer you get to the ground, the spookier stuff gets. So when you get to the really, really dark parts, they say that you don't ever want to go there. You don't want to look there. You don't want to talk about it.
Tentacle-faced goomans is what I like to call them.
Okay, that's fair.
And then Rootless is kind of a traveling like flotilla or something like that, where we moved around a lot on the different ships. And then, go ahead. And then
I was going to go origin and post kind of all. Go for it.
Oh, and then Corsair is the post on the ship, which is more of the swashbuckly fighty type.
Close quarter combat, right?
Very, very active character versus the passive character I'm playing in the home game.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So you want to fill us in on your origin and your post, Mike?
Yeah. So with origin, I kind of was a little bit struggled on this one, but I decided to go with the anchored origin. I feel like that's probably a good fit for the spirit taking the amalgamation golem and all that kind of stuff. And then for my post, I was going to choose the post of Char, which a Char is a culinary mastermind who uses meats and spices to imbue their dishes with lasting positive effects. And so because I like the irony of the ship's cook having such a purpose and drive in his previous life that even the Wildsea couldn't keep him down. So now he's joined a new ship crew as their galley in chief. And the
funniest part about
I like that. Go ahead.
And the funniest part about that is when I read Char, as I was reading through the posts, I was like, oh God, I know exactly what's going to happen tonight. I didn't think of the Ironbound, but I did think you were going to pick a chef for some reason.
When I was looking over the posts, the Char reminded me of an old kitchen plaque I used to see a long time ago. It said, when it's smoking, it's cooking. When it's black, it's done.
Yeah.
It's not bad. There's just no fire, in the wilds, or at least you shouldn't be using fire very often.
That is something we should point out, since everything is wood. Everything is wood. Fires are very closely controlled, heavily regulated, and generally a poor idea in this world. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
Yeah. Yep. So I did have also other ideas for an ardent hacker and whatever, the Ektar Horizoneer. I had other ideas too, but apparently Brent is okay with the Ironbound Char.
I saw a meme I should have sent you guys where it's 2 GMs, mm-hmm. one for Shadowrun and one for Wildsea, and they each got the hackers from the other game. And they're like, I thought I asked for a group of hackers because the hackers in Wildsea chop trees, right?
Yeah. Yes, that term is different, very different in the two games. It's true.
Yes. But the GMs were very confused, as were the hackers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a inside nerd joke, right? It's funny to me, but I don't know if it's funny to the public in general. But what the hell?
It's fine. I think it works.
All right, so you guys have your posts.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk? You already talked a little bit about your bloodlines and what you get with that. Did you pick your aspects already?
No,
I have not.
That was a little later. Do you pick like let's see, character creation?
I'm just following the book, Mike. As I went past posts on offer, it went to the bloodlines, and Arden's the first one.
Yeah, so it looks like it's bloodlines and then origin and then post, I believe. Mm-hmm. And so my only question is the quick start. If you go by the quick start rules off to the side on the rule book, do you pick one, like, so if you look at aspect, I'm going to go up to Arden. If you look at the quick start, it has like suggestions, and it says edge choose 1, skills and languages choose 5, resources choose 2, drive choose 1, mm-hmm. Mire choose 1. Do you do that for each part?
No, you do that just for the bloodline, I believe.
No, because it's after each character class. It has the same quick start rules.
You will do that for each of those. So like you'll get 3 edges as a starting character. Okay. The main difference that I read is that when you're creating your character is you either choose your young gun, which your biggest determination that you're getting between your young gun and the old gun is that you have 8 skills as a young gun and 15 skills as an old dog. You have 4 aspects as a young gun and 6 aspects from bloodlines, origin, 4 resources versus 6 resources, and then those 3 in the middle there are what your differences are. So an old dog technically is I think you're one shot.
They're the one shot pre-gen characters, mm-hmm. because they're more focused.
They're a little more fleshed out.
They're your specialists. Your young gun gives you a chance to diversify a little bit and figure out what you want to do before you lock in the stuff that you're actually gonna. It would be more for a campaign.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. Is that you start your young gun, on the Wildsea, and then and then you grow that character into something. So, but yeah, you basically start with 3 edges, one from your background, bloodline.
Sense. So you'll have 15. You'll have 15 languages and skills.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And edges? Do you want to explain what those are, Jeff?
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading on the stuff. Shit. Just jumping me around. That's fine.
It's okay.
I'm learning the rules as we go.
As are we.
That's what we all do.
We're all. We are all playing here together. And just jump to the section so I don't speak out of my ear. All right. Edges represent the way that your character is most used to solving problems and tackling challenges. The approach they're usually the most effective with. When you attempt something using an edge, you're in your element. When rolling, you can add 1d6 to your dice pool. So they really add narrative flavor to the rest of the action roll, because there's a lot in this game that gives the players power to build their dice pools. Like, it isn't just a straight, because you have this and this and this, you get 4 dice. Like, if you can narrate and tell me what you're doing and explain how you're doing it, and that you're going to use this edge, you basically get an extra dice where you might not have gotten it if you had described it differently, if that makes sense. So an example would be rolling together specimens using the tide's edge might mean that you're focusing on quality, where rolling with the veils might let you gather those specimens without letting anyone else know, or without disturbing local wildlife. Veils is more of a secretive shadow cipher, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So I think I've got my 3 edges. Now, as we had discussed, if you're looking at your bloodlines, have a suggested edge that you would choose one of. Do you have yours kind of figured out there, Brent? Or
I'm going in suggestions by the quick start, so I'm going through
using the quick start
one. Yeah, so I'm going through each one and looking.
Okay. I can explain mine while you're finishing yours up then, because I think I've already got them. So for the Ironbound, I've got an option of Iron, Teeth, and Tides. I actually decided that I would like to go with Iron. Iron is an edge of force and willpower, and it's basically like how you weather incoming damage. And I kind of, as the cook, I kind of imagine him to be like a very sturdy piece of equipment. Basically more like an oven instead of a microwave.
Hey, Brent, which of these spoke to Mike more? Keeping his cool in tense situations or imposing his will on others? They're both in there. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Keeping is cool.
Keeping is cool. There we go.
Yep. Except when cooking. Then I also chose the edge Tides. Let's see here. Let's see.
Oh, nice.
The anchored. So I chose Tides, and then from the char, I chose Instinct. So just to give the other 2 edges there a little bit of love. Tides, you're at your best when relying on your knowledge of the waves, the quirks, and the secrets of the Wildsea that others might write off as mere folktales. Since I'm a sailor from bygone past, at least I had sailed the Wildsea for a while. I feel Tides is a fairly apt way to use my prior life knowledge and what I've learned as an Ironbound. And then the Instinct I liked because it's they go with the flow, acting without a plan, and trusting their gut or natural body reaction. So doesn't really use.
I like it.
Why would a cook use a plan? Just I've got some stuff to make, and I'm sure I made it before, obviously.
Well, you live in a world where you never know what ingredients you're going to have to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's probably some basic ingredients that are readily available that you can have all the time, but other stuff, you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not a world of shopping malls and refrigeration and freezing and things like that.
And cooking and fire. like if you want to cook, I remember reading one part of the book where they were like, just put it on the engine. You can do 2 things at once. And I was like,
anything that generates heat, man. Multitask, multi-purpose.
It reminds me of those things where they're like, and after my 2-hour drive, my chicken is cooked. And they pull out this thing of like whatever, like oven engine chicken or something like that off the hood of their car. Like, I don't know. That was like a 90s commercial for me or something like that. I thought there was a cooker or something back then. I have to remember that. But yes, those are the 3 edges I wanted to go with is Iron, Tides, and Instinct.
Okay. Did you have time to look at those, Brent, or you still need a little bit? We can talk about
so I picked Grace, Iron, and Teeth.
Nice.
Which Mike explained most of them already. I didn't look at Grace specifically.
An edge of elegance, precision, and agility.
Yeah.
You're best when you're free to move, using superior mobility and unexpected speed to run rings around a problem.
Yep.
Nice. All right. That sounds good.
All right. And next is skills.
Yep, skills.
Right? And there's a fair amount, but not too many. I don't know if we're going to. Do you want me to just list them briefly, Mike, or?
Well, I have most of my skills, I think, already sorted.
Why don't you talk about yours?
So the skills themselves, it's a pretty good list of skills, I would say. But kind of just trying to keep in the in the whole idea of a char character and all that kind of stuff. The question I have is for you is like, how recommended do you think languages are going to be? Not to like metagame too much or anything, but since you split your skills on languages and
I think the languages, because they allow you to take so many, what I'm picking up is that the languages are important.
Okay.
I don't know that means that everybody needs to speak a bazillion languages, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can have you're ranked 1 to 3 in languages where you can have a smattering, a knowledge, and a fluency.
Mm-hmm.
So there's probably a patois that's developed amongst all of the languages, which is why you can understand bits and pieces of a lot of them. I honestly think it's the way that you want to use your character. I would say in a campaign, you probably want more languages where there's more places that you can go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like because it's a storytelling game, and the players are going to have a lot of say in what happens, right? And hoping to tell the story. So I think that I would probably focus on skills a little bit more, but I wouldn't ignore.
Sure.
If you think one of the languages speaks to you, I would at least maybe get into understanding, at least. Sorry, knowledge.
Yeah. No, it's
learning. We're all learning this together.
Yeah, because the low sour is the mongrel tongue, the pigeon of everybody's kind of everybody's a town. I do. That's such a weird name to me. Low sour. Like nobody likes it. It's just the.
Yeah, it also the description. It's a mongrel language. It's like you said, a little bit of everything developed in the years since the shattered post-verdancy cultures. You know,
so I think in terms of what this what I would choose in terms of like skills, I'm kind of choosing, I guess. And this might be something that is more of a healer type character, but I don't know. I'm going to go with a little bit of brace. Brace is a skill of defense, hard-headedness, and immobility. I think that that's how you brace against the ravages of weather and all those kind of things.
Exhaustion.
And I think as an ironbound, that seems to make sense with the character. I'm not going to really take like a lot of wave walking or hacking through the thing, because I don't think that's necessarily what I envision this character is, like basically brachiating through the canopy. No, that's not where he falls.
Sure.
It's not a very fun thing for him to get off ships. But I did like the idea of the skill break, basically use break to smash through things. I feel like that's the kind of character he would be. So I got a couple in there. I chose concoct. Concoct is a skill of reactions, essences, and deeper understanding. So you distill chemicals, unpick mysteries of surrounding the mutative potential of scissorin. So kind of using a little bit of alchemy in my cooking, which I also took cook for 3, so I can cook. Harvest for reaping, gleaning, and culling. And then I took tend.
How many points did you put in cook?
3.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, wait.
If you took 1 in cook, I was going to be a little upset.
He's cooking with us, and then he's using the Krezerin, the deadly toxin, on the side. He's experimenting with that in his off hours.
I took 3 in concoct, 1 in cook, and 3 in tend. So you decide how good the meals are.
Okay.
No, but then I took harvest for getting stuff, and then tend for healing and recovery.
Sure.
So I kind of wanted to fit that whole like barbershop role, where you're just kind of like somebody's injured, they come to me. Somebody's needs nourishment, they come to me. Those kind of things. And then also I crack a skull or 2 if I need to, but not really.
Yeah, no, I think all those fit the character that you've been describing very well. Nice.
And signaling. just because I can use my spirit to light up and dim as I need to. So I think that would be hilarious.
So for skills, I took brace just because it's a defensive skill, with the ability just 1 point in brace with attack and parry.
Interesting that you both took that, but it makes sense.
Yeah, well, mine is directly related to
your combat. Yeah,
and then flourish is kind of like what they suggested in one of the things that I read. Flourish for the combat skill because they're very kind of swashbucklery. I took a little bit of hunt because it has marksmanship. I took outwit because I wanted to be kind of clever. Sense for their ability to kind of sense danger. Sway to be able to talk to people, and then vault to be able to like swing from things and do kind of athletic-y swashbuckler stuff.
I really like vault because think about it. You're in a ship at least a mile above what we now know as ground.
Right.
I'm not saying there's not a lot of branches intervening, but
yeah,
you would have to be used to heights at some level, right?
And it's like a thing. It's like a trophy thing where you swing across the ships and stuff like that. So I think that'll be good. I do have 4 languages, 1 point in each language, just because my character is rootless, so they moved around a lot. I may change those a little.
That's fine.
Low Sour, Chthonic, Old Hand, and Signaling.
Chthonic is the ancient human language.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe so, yes.
Yep. And you do get 3 points of Low Sour for free.
Yeah. You do get, everybody gets full fluency in Low Sour.
Okay. Well, I'll put another point in something else then.
Old Hand is the sign language is equivalent, right? Essentially.
Yeah. I figured signaling is important on a boat, especially when storms are available.
Sure.
So
flags, flares, signal lamps. Yep.
Ironbound.
So neither of us are very good in the trees. We're good on ships.
You're good on ships, yeah.
Neither of us have wave walking, really. So
there's 2 of us.
Wave walking's kind of badass.
Well,
it is. It just doesn't fit my character concept very well.
Exactly. No, I get that. I don't think everybody needs to be a wave walker.
Well, there was something that I read as part of the lore and everything like that, where it was just like they basically there were like some wave walkers. There's like games where one of the sports that they have or something like that is like they what the fuck was it? They were like, oh, you want a sport? Okay, well, how about we just run across the trees and see who's fastest? And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
And I'm hoping my vault can cover for some of that stuff if I have to swing from anything. So
I might. It depends on how you talk about it, Brent.
I would argue for it. So,
well, I'm not here to fight with you. I'm here to listen to your description
and then say no,
and then go, okay, yeah, no, it sounds like you.
And then say
an extra
no.
dice.
You're wrong, Brent. You're wrong.
All right. I'm liking where this is going. I'm liking where this is going so far. So good characters. Did you guys do some aspects?
So aspects I haven't done just yet because
that's fine.
And this is the one I wanted to kind of more just kind of gauge what Brent was doing a little bit before. Because I just wanted to make sure that I understood like what he was playing. So we didn't both choose like the most non-combat-y running into combat characters we possibly could.
Well, our characters are very different, so I think our aspects are going to be very different.
Yeah.
So for the people listening at home, aspects are the things that make your character distinct, giving them new abilities and unique ways to tackle challenges on the Wildsea. You can have 7 aspects in total. There's 3 different types of aspects: traits, gear, and companions. Wow, that would be weird if Mike was a living totem that had a construct as a pet, as a companion. That would be bizarre.
I like how much weird shit you can do in this game. Like
it's one of the appeals.
You could be a ironbound with like a cage for a head and dead birds in it.
Yes.
Like just weird, just like totally weird, like off the wall, like character ideas. And that's very cool to me.
Yeah. And the one thing about aspects that is interesting is that you do also do your gear as part of your aspects. So like the entirety of your character becomes this kind of like bigger than life component, and this includes your gear, which I thought was kind of neat. So like I could have Agent Tar Seals for some reason, so I'm immune to the effect of Krezerin, like, or I could have an ornate cannon for some reason, just stuck on my body. And everyone knows me as the cooking cannon.
Yeah, it makes sense for your. I mean, it makes sense for your. I mean, your character concept is your. It's more than that. It's like everything, and I think that's really neat.
Mm-hmm. I do too. Sorry, Brent. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No. Go ahead.
For people who haven't played the game, there are a lot of tracks in this game. Mm-hmm. Combat. When you do combat, you have to complete a track it's not like a hit point thing. Certain things have to happen a certain number of times, and then the good guys win or the bad guys win. All of your aspects have tracks, and like when you take damage, sometimes you will lose one of the segments off the track. Mm-hmm. Towering is a 5-track trait, so you still have it before you actually suffer damage. You lose abilities in there, and it makes it a little less effective. Mm-hmm. So this isn't a game where you will die a lot. You will get hurt a lot, if the way I'm reading it is correct. But there isn't a lot of death. There's a lot of near death, and then there's recovery, and then your character's a little different because you don't have all of your aspects.
If any people are going to die during a Wildsea game, you've chosen the right people to play the game with.
Well, nobody's going to die during character creation in this game. So
that's true.
Our first plus, right?
That's
get through
true.
Session 0, and everything will be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
hopefully
that is true. It isn't Traveler or Hackmaster.
I'll have a few things to say about tracks as we play. Like I said, I'm reading, but there's a lot of tracks.
Did you pick up on that? Yeah, there was a lot of stuff to track using the track system here. But you know what? There is an option for a Sioux squirrel, and I'm very, very tempted to have a Ratatouille-esque squirrel companion.
We're both assholes because we're both taking weird pets.
No, I think that's cool. A weird pet, that's fine.
I took the ring-tailed rabble-rouser, the weird lemur monkey thing.
Oh, nice. Then you can have the pet thing.
Everybody can have a pet.
We can be a ship full of men with pets. Well, you're not a man, but you know what I mean. You're a sentient log.
One of the first Reddit posts I read about Wildsea when I'd watched some videos and I ordered the book and I was trying to gather more information, was somebody was like, I homebrewed this campaign and all the crew of my ship wants to do is keep sailing to our destination to deliver our stuff and take care of their pets. Their favorite part of the game is taking care of their pets. And there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what the group wants to do, then it's a perfectly fine, let's take care of our pets game.
That's a fairly human thing that I could see people keying on.
No, exactly. So I don't see a problem with people with more than one person having in this weird, lonely ass world of the Wildsea. I think any sort of companionship is cool. So you guys got to pick. You guys know what your characters are, getting a sense for how they're going to be.
So have your Ratatouille in your head. That's fine.
Well,
I'm not saying you have to, Mike. I'm saying you can.
No, I'm okay with having it, but I think just for fun, because Brent's already got a concept with a ring-tailed lemur, which is also very cool. I just
we had a metal arm until 5 seconds ago, so it could change at any time.
And it may be different next week when we actually start playing.
But I think I like the idea of the monkey better than the metal arm. So
okay.
So because there's definitely I like this component to it. So the aspects that I was looking at were mortal needs. So though I can choose to do so, I can basically just kind of ignore needing to eat because that. Save. That's a selfless thing. I save the food for the crew.
Will anyone trust a cook? that doesn't eat the food that they cook?
Well, okay. I think this is.
I meant, okay, so I said this to Mike earlier, but I swear we played a game where one of us was a cook and they just made the shittiest food all the time.
What? This is good. So
I'm not saying that's your character. I'm just saying this isn't the first character we've had in the game that's been a cook, which I think is weird.
It is a little interesting.
I think it might have even been my character that was a shitty cook. Now that I think about it, I think it was me that I kept making stuff, and people were like, "This is horrible," and I was like, "Shut up and eat it."
Well, I'm not going that route. I'm taking the higher route because I'm a flavor engineer and I can treat salvage as specimen when crafting meals. They're still oddly edible. I'm taking Titanic for the imposing presence because I like the whole, like, big cook, because obviously he sampled his food, so he's a very meaty shape, I guess. Deep in the barrel, which you can increase the impact when cooking with rotten or otherwise tainted ingredients. Why not? A seasoned cleaver that I use both on the battlefield and the galley, and then I have taste tests, which means I'm immune to poisons and I can determine their presence by taste alone. So,
nice.
I know if I'm trying to kill you, really, is what it boils down to. So, all right, Brett, what did you take overall?
I took Ironclad Mind because I think he's got a pretty strong willpower. I took Ragged Longcoat, which is a little bit of armor, and I figured it's his dad's long coat that he wears for family. I took Wholehearted, which means he's inspired by the ship and can make him do things. I took Ring-tailed Rabble-rouser, which is the lemur that we talked about before, who I will name.
Mm-hmm.
I took Corsair's Saber, which I also think was probably my father's saber. And then I took Prowess.
Okay.
Nice. So those are the aspects that I picked.
Cool.
I like him. So he's fairly well done character so far.
Yeah, he's fairly swashbucklery, semi-heroic type.
Awesome. A couple of things about aspects that we're not going to get into, running a small adventure, one time, is that you can develop your aspects, which allow them to grow in strength and experience over time. There's milestones involved, and it takes a decent amount of time to complete the project, but you can make them more yours. You can combine aspects. Like if you have two that you're kind of using parts of and can, figure out a way that they would combine together to, use them for what you're using them for already. There's ways to do that. So you have a lot of creative license as a player, like to really shape the character to be yours. You can even create unique aspects if you really want to. Talk it over with the Firefly, work it out with the party kind of thing. But I thought that those were neat things to call out about the game. That I think they give it some life, and give the players a little more agency, assuming that they're not just creating super-powered bombs. You know what I mean?
Well, that's always the funny thing about these narrative type games. It's like, yeah, you can just be good at combat, but that isn't going to necessarily make your character interesting within the game.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is very much a game where being interesting, I think, is better than like being a human tank.
Yeah.
Or a bunch of spiders in a suit tank.
Skin suit.
Hey, I think a bunch of spiders in a skin suit would be fantastic.
Well, you can play them in this game.
Yeah, that was my second character concept.
That's Zelicray, I think is the way you say it. But like, I like the idea that that one of the things that can happen as a Zelicray is that you can like come across other Zelicray and you can be like, hey, want to hop in? And
yeah, you can take their memories. Yeah,
it's like what.
They're in a new race, but a very advanced race in some way.
Well, when you can spread yourselves, or when you can learn from other members of your race like that, where it's not a learning process, it's just like a trade. You would spread knowledge really quickly as a race.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The game has a lot of resources. Obviously, you're in this world built on top of an older dead world, so scavenging is very much a thing. Mm-hmm. Things that used to belong to people who are no longer here now belong to whoever finds them. And the things that you get are resources. You get salvage, specimens, whispers, and charts. And so those all help you because you can risk resources for your dice pool. You can use them to gain advantage on your action rolls.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat. That's a neat mechanic.
It only applies if they fit the situation. You'll see that come up a lot, right? It's got to fit. The map to this new location is not relevant to you stabbing some guy in the back.
I disagree.
Well, if you can narratively do it, I'll give it to you, Brent.
No, I'm kidding.
The thing that I liked, and I don't know why this stuck with me, is that most barter in the Wildsea is done with really small resources called scratch, which are really just weird bits and bobs, odds and ends left behind by more valuable resources as they pass through your hands. They're usually too small to bother keeping track of. Old fruit seeds, amber fragments, insect wings, splinters, like literally any, like the loose screw that you found under your couch. You know what I mean?
In a scrounging society, though, any little any little thing that might not mean anything to somebody else might really be important at some point. So.
Exactly. So specimens are the organic bounty of the Wildsea, usually taken from insects, beasts, or the waves themselves. Because the different parts of the Wildsea are different trees, right? Mm-hmm. Different areas, they're different trees. Whispers are wild secrets that leap from mind to mind, parasitic words with a will of their own. It can be a single word or a short phrase, but they can only exist in one mind at a time. When spoken, a whisper is lost. And those are things that the Firefly hands out when appropriate that can help push you potentially in a direction or give you an idea for a direction to go, I guess. Maybe solve a problem. Charts are the lifeblood of travel, as you can imagine, in a non-electronic society. There's no GPS, right?
Unimportant. Maps are unimportant. We don't need to know where we're going. We'll get where we need to be.
Well, that is a very positive attitude.
I believe that's the way to starvation.
Documents that record the location of spits, islands, hazards, and trade routes. So, and you can also carry cargo sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And in some ways, I get kind of like I still feel a little Firefly-esque in terms of how my misfits, how the misfits on the Wildsea will be. I plan them to be really cool and swashbuckly, and I end up with Firefly, which is okay with me, honestly.
So, you guys ready to move on to Myers?
Yeah,
read about those.
Is Drive first or Myers?
Oh wait, did I skip over Drive?
Drive is after resources.
Okay, we can do Drive. Sorry, my bad.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to make sure they got covered more than anything.
I like that we're looking out for each other. That's the important part. So yeah, were you able to look at your drives, guys?
I did.
Yeah. Do you have your go for it if you've got your drives already set up?
I just picked one from each kind of aspect, with one that I have highlighted as like the main one.
Okay.
The one from the Corsair is protect the crew from terrifying entities, which I think is his big driving
nice
piece. Aid rootless ships and colonies, and solve problems in ardent settlements. So those are my main drives.
Okay. And so drives really are just goals, right? Dreams to chase, secrets to uncover. As you make progress on those drives, so when things happen, you get rewards. You can gain a whisper. You can clear a mark of a mire, which we'll talk about following drives. You can gain a minor milestone, or potentially gain a major milestone. So those are just some of the reasons, to have drives that give you storytelling reasons to try to do them.
Yeah, things to do. I think those are good.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Mike. You want to tell us about your character's drives?
Sure. From Ironbound, I chose rescue an abandoned ship. I feel like probably due to the fact that I was lost to the sea and came back, I feel kind of an obligation to try to help those back if I can. As an anchored, my spirit wants to reconnect with the family and friends that I left behind, not knowing, kind of only really having a fuzzy recollection of where they were, because my purpose was to cook and feed and make people happy. But like that part of my personality seems a lot probably more vague and comes in whispers and wisps. And then for the char, because they'll love to cook, basically prepare a banquet for the worthy. Felt like a nice, kind of just make a bunch of food and people enjoying his food. So not sure who the worthy are, but if he needs to show up on Iron Chef, seems like the place to be.
He is the Iron Chef, literally.
Yeah, literally. I like that, Brent. That was good.
Who needs to go on Iron Chef when you are the Iron Chef?
He is literally an Iron Chef.
Could you imagine the pedestal coming up and then just fight for this fat amount of like ship components comes up, 2 arms crossed.
That's pretty good.
Yep. It's going to start a game show.
All right. I like your drives. I think those your characters are starting to come together. You guys put a lot of thought in them, so I appreciate that. Myers. So in the book, the Wildsea takes its toll on those that sail it, bringing out more of their insecurities, phobias, and savage tendencies the longer they stray from port. These are your Myers, the things that drag you down. And every character will have a set of 3 Myers. So, did you guys look at the suggestions or come up with some of your own? Or
yeah, I picked from the suggestions.
Cool.
Since there's a lot about family, like I said, he has his dad's saber and his jacket. I put your ancestors whisper of their disappointment. So he's always trying to drive to be better and do good. Outsiders are difficult to trust. People new to their ship or who aren't always on the ship, they're difficult for me to form relationships with. And my weapons, dull and rust, even though they're maintained. So to kind of go with the ancestors' whispers, like the Corsair's cutlass, if I don't constantly maintain it and do my father proud, I feel like it rusts and dulls. So.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. For me, the Ironbound, I chose the body cracks and splits, weakness spreading, meaning that maybe the tenuous grasp I have on staying in this world isn't as strong as I thought. For the anchored, I'm haunted by visions of my past death. I can't ever seem to forget how I died, which is unfortunate. And then, of course, from a char, my sense of taste becomes unworthy, meaning that if I succumb to this mire, I become less and less good at tasting things. Because I am a spirit and also a construct. I mean, it makes sense.
No, it does. Those you guys went deep. I like that. Those are good. So yeah, we'll talk more about the Myers as things happen. But yeah, they basically have negative effects on your character. Some are mechanical, some are tangible and defined, and some are left for more interpretation.
All right, that's okay. I like that.
Yeah, and you can remove marks from your mire by playing to your drives. So that is one of the benefits that you can get is clearing a mire, because your guys sound like they might drive you a little crazy.
Well, I think that's the point.
I think it is. I agree.
Port is important.
Yeah, but to say it seems like as soon as you pick your mire, you're basically picking your poison. So, like, which poison do you want to take? Ooh, yummy.
So, the next thing in the book, at least, is milestones, which I don't think we need to get into unless you guys actually, if you picked one, I'd like to talk about it, but I wasn't sure if you would because of the nature of the game that we're playing.
I didn't pick one.
No. Okay. They're just narrative achievements that you can record on your character sheet to fuel various advancements, like extending the length of an aspect's track, adding a rank in a skill or language, or even gaining a new aspect entirely. So they're things that your character's doing to progress themselves and grow.
Yeah,
and no, there's minor ones and major ones, and what you can do. Obviously, stuff like defanged a giant snake. Showed Barton he was wrong.
Well, I mean, we might get those in the process of the one shot.
No, we could. No, we could.
Yeah. So, and that's fine with me. Because I'll leave it as a blank slate right now. Who knows? We could be in this for a while. 4 sessions. I'm sure we'll get some milestones there.
Yeah.
So, since I'm not running the game.
Well, as the almost never GM of the group, we'll see how it goes. You'll either steamroll me and the adventure will be over in 45 minutes, or we'll be plodding along for 6 months and have gotten almost nowhere.
I think it'll go fine. I think it'll be better, much better than that. So
I'm hoping it's somewhere in the middle.
Is there a roll to win mechanic? I mean, if there is that, then I can see this.
That's the thing about this game. There isn't, because it's really, what do you want to do? Even playing a pre-canned scenario, right? Even playing the the One-Armed Scissor. Have you guys read the overview of that? You want me to read that to you?
No, I usually don't read anything about any of the one shots.
I don't think the overview is going to kill anyone. So the overview: a library ship, the One-Armed Scissor, is a month overdue for docking at the Spit of Three Masks. It's probably nothing, the residents tell themselves. Ships are delayed all the time by the unknowns of the rustling waves. Except there was that rootquake a while back that shifted the old established trade routes, and the reports from the other sailors of marauders at large and pinwolves on the rise, and a cache of recently delivered books, their leather bindings ruined and their words run rampant and whispering. Perhaps there is a reason to worry, and perhaps an opportunity for an enterprising crew.
Yeah, I think that sounds cool.
Well, that's your setup.
Well, we could be an enterprising crew.
The one thing I wanted to ask you, sorry, go ahead, Brent.
I like that it's a library ship. That makes me really happy, right, Mike?
Yes, it makes me happy too.
A lot of
Brent's,
our worlds.
Brent's going to study at the library ship.
A lot of our worlds seem to revolve around libraries.
So there is a ship included in the game, in the scenario, a sample ship called the Skeleton Key that you guys can use if you don't want to make one as a group. But if you wanted to make a ship as a group, I would be totally willing to let you make a ship as a group. Not that we don't necessarily have to do that in the confines of this episode, but if you want to make your own a ship that's yours, I'm fine with that.
I think I'm fine using the Skeleton Key. What about you?
Yeah.
If you want to make a ship, Mike?
No, I think the skeleton's, as long as it has a galley of some sort, I'm sure it's fine. If it doesn't have a galley,
there's a galley. Mike, even if there wasn't, because you picked Char, there's a galley.
There's got to be. It just doesn't make sense otherwise,
right? And if you really like, there's some sort of a deck weapon on the ship as well, Brent. There's also a crane, just to let you know.
Oh, perfect.
So, good to know.
I know that you're the close quarter combat guy, Brent, but
just good to know.
Hey, I've got a cleaver. It's part of my aspects, man.
All right. And I will send you some, there are unsettling questions that you ask at the beginning of every adventure to get the characters focusing on the rumors or ideas that they might have about their world.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to just email you these, or do you want me to say them out loud on the episode?
Up to you guys. I think if you email them to us, then it would be a little easier to kind of think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, or post them in the Discord.
I'll post it. One of these is like just tailor made for Mike. Oh no, you'll see what I say here in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and post it in Discord. I don't want to get too spoilery, you know what I mean, in case anybody else wants to play One-Armed Scissor.
Yeah, well,
or wants to watch us fresh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, spoilers bound to happen.
Yes. We will definitely have some spoilers. All right, there's your 3 questions. But the first one, Mike, is your char.
Okay, look at that Discord. Okay.
Yes, I posted in Discord. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%.
Perfect.
Right? That's 100% Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. Do you pick all 3 questions or just one question? Or I guess I may have not
answer the ones that you want to focus on. Right? Just
gotcha.
Some of the answers they give will turn out to be true. Perhaps none will. So you can feel free to answer all 3, and we'll see which rumors you've heard are true.
Works for me. So okay. Well, I think that's characters. We've got our 2 characters nameless as of right now, but we'll have names and full descriptions come next week when we play the Wildsea. And we hope everybody enjoys our go of it. And of course, we want to support Jeff because this is his first go of DMing Fireflying in a minute. So we're really excited to get him back.
Yeah, a minute. That's a quaint way of putting it. It's been a few years.
It's been a minute. Yeah. So, of course, if you guys have comments, you guys have extra, things you'd like to say about character creation, share your stories of playing in the Wildsea. We'd love to hear it. Just put those in the comments down below. Of course, if you want to catch us out in the wild, Jeff, how do people get us on social media?
Hey, find us on Blue Sky, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, or Twitter. We are at Rollwise. You can also email us, rollwiseguys@gmail.com.
And as always, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed a little slice of character creation. Roll well, roll wise, be safe out there, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks.